Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a CBD infused salve. This is part 2 in a series of videos I'm going to be making regarding all things CBD. So if you missed last week's video, I hope you also check that out where I showed you how to make CBD infused bath bombs. In this video today, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a salve or a balm and also how to incorporate CBD isolate into that formula. We want to use CBD isolate in this formula for its anti-inflammatory properties, and I'll go into more detail in the video regarding all of that. I'll also be discussing a little bit of the business side of this topic and some of the things that I've been learning along the way regarding selling your products that contain CBD in them. The actual recipe or formula will be available on my Patreon campaign at the bonus level, the $7 level. This is going to be considered the bonus recipe for the month of September. I'll go ahead and put the link to my campaign in the description box below for you. I really hope you'll go check it out. At the $7 level on my campaign, you can access 100% of all the recipes I've ever published over there, and I think there's something like 447 posts for you to take advantage of as soon as you sign up. Literally hundreds of recipes and tutorials at your fingertips, so you'll be able to access this formula and my other CBD formulas if you're interested in that, plus hundreds more of the hair care, skin care, soap, candle making tutorials. It's a great way to connect with me and other makers. We've built a lovely community of almost 3,000 makers, so I really hope you'll go and join us. There's other tiers to take a look at and take advantage of if you like, and we also offer coupon codes that sign up to my favorite suppliers like makesy.com and onlinelabels.com, making your sign up very well worth it. I hope you'll check it out. All right, let's make some CBD salve. All right, first things first, a salve is usually a mixture of waxes and oils to create a sort of anhydrous cream for healing purposes. So they're pretty simple in ingredients, but they're a little bit tricky to make because of the consistency, and everybody has a personal preference with consistency. I don't like my salves to be super hard because then they're too hard to get the product out of, and it's hard to spread around on your skin. And I don't like them to be too soft because then they melt easily and you feel like you're wasting product because a lot comes out at a time. So getting that perfect consistency took a bit of tweaking and practice on my part, so I'm very happy with the final consistency of this product, and I just wanted to share that with you real quick. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and weigh off some beeswax for this formula. Now I'm using some beeswax that I shaved from a big beeswax block. However, you could use any sort of cosmetic grade or cleaned and refined beeswax that you have. You could use a vegan wax here, although if you substitute this out for a vegan wax like candelilla wax or rice bran wax, you will have to adjust the amounts because your consistency will be different than the consistency I am showing you here today. I really like the healing properties of beeswax, which is why I'm using beeswax for my wax today. So we're just putting it into a big glass heat resistant beaker. And then next up, we're going to be adding in some bellina wax. Now you could use rice bran wax in place of bellina if you can't source it. However, I did find mine at Brambleberry. They are starting to carry some bellina wax now. Bellina wax is a derivative of beeswax, and this is going to give it a little bit of a softer consistency so your balm doesn't get too hard. It's also going to give it some nice slip and glide, so it's very helpful in things like lip balms, salves, and balms for your face and your body. So the ingredients that I'm adding in here, as far as salve making goes, Because salves are usually made for their healing properties, you want them to stick to the skin. So they aren't gonna soak in like a creamy, like oil and water emulsion. They're gonna rather sit on top of your skin and hopefully penetrate the skin a little bit. So that all kind of depends on what types of oils you're using and things like that. So it is gonna be a little bit greasier to the touch, but that is the nature of a salve. So next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and weigh off our liquid oils. Now what I have here is an infusion of grapeseed oil. It's infused with 1/3 arnica, 1/3 calendula, and 1/3 chamomile. I'm using arnica for its anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties, meaning that it helps with pain. And I'm using the calendula for its anti-inflammatory properties and anti-redness properties. And I'm using the chamomile plant here for its soothing and calming properties. It also does help with pain as well. So this is a very nice blend to be adding into a salve all by itself, even without any CBD infused. But once we add the CBD to this formula, it's gonna make it a very powerful anti-inflammatory salve, which is what we're going for. I'm going for more of like a pain salve or a muscle rub to help with aches and pains. So I'm gonna go ahead and strain this, and when I post my formula on Patreon, I'll go ahead and go into detail about how to create your infusion. All right, here we have our strained oil. It's taken on a really nice kind of golden hue, and that's from the calendula petals. It gives it a nice bright and cheery kind of color. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour it over our beeswax and our cera bellina wax. All right, so now we need to take this and we need to warm it up to get our waxes melted all the way down and get this into a liquid state. So while our oils and waxes are warming up, we're gonna go ahead and weigh off the cool down ingredients. I've already weighed off my CBD isolate, which I'll be talking about in a minute. And in this container, I'm gonna be weighing off some lavender essential oil, also found at brambleberry.com, peppermint essential oil. I got this one at Nature's Garden. And then we're gonna be weighing off a bit of vitamin E. The vitamin E is gonna help with preserving the shelf life of the oils in this formula. So first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and weigh off some lavender. Now, this lavender 4042 is my favorite lavender to use. Again, you can pick this one up at Brambleberry. It smells so good. It really sticks to your products very well. We're using lavender for its pain relieving properties. It also is very soothing and calming. It has been also linked to helping with pain. So again, along with that theme of anti-inflammatory, we're gonna go ahead and put in that. And then we're gonna also be using peppermint essential oil, and peppermint is also known for its pain relieving properties. And together, these two smell so good. I really love the way peppermint and lavender smells together. Next, we're going to be adding in some vitamin E. Again, this is just to help preserve the shelf life of your oils. This does not act as a preservative. This product does not need a preservative because it's anhydrous, meaning there's no liquids in it. There's no waters, I should say. We're using all oils and butters, so it does not require the use of a preservative. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and combine this and get that vitamin E nice and mixed up into the liquid essential oils here. All right, now a little bit about this CBD isolate powder here. CBD is an acronym for cannabinoid, and it does come from the cannabis plant. However, it is isolated from the plant, meaning it's just CBD. This is not a broad spectrum CBD, this is just pure CBD isolate, 100% CBD isolate. So what they do is they isolate the CBD from the plant, and therefore there is no remaining THC. That's the component responsible for the psychoactive properties. This does not have anything like that. It's not a broad spectrum CBD, it's just a pure CBD isolate. So the isolate is said to contain very strong anti-inflammatory properties. It's linked to health benefits. Of course, you have to be super, super careful not to make any claims on what this can do, or any other herb for that matter. This is no different than using let's say arnica or comfrey or calendula. You cannot make claims about your products doing things or curing things. So what you can do is talk about the plant properties, and that's what this does. I'm not going to be sharing the source of where I got this CBD isolate because I had a really hard time with this company shipping out the product on time, but I will link a very good source where you can get your CBD isolate from, a company that has a very good reputation. I linked it in my bath bomb video as well. I'll link it in this video too, so you can source your own CBD isolate, or you can take a look at the other products they have, like the CBD concentrates or the broad spectrum. So just do your research and figure out which one what works best for you and your products before you make any purchases, because CBD is very expensive. All right, now that my oils and waxes are warmed up and my waxes are melted down, it's time to go ahead and add in the cool down ingredients, or I should say maybe the phase B ingredients. You don't want to place the essential oils and the vitamin E and the CBD over the direct heat like I've had, or the water bath like I had this in here, because you just don't want to degrade the product. Although this is still going to be quite warm when we add in the CBD, and that's because of the beeswax has a high melt point. So you just don't want to warm this up too hot and degrade it, although it can be added to warm oils. This is a fat soluble CBD isolate, meaning it dissolves in oil, so it's not a water soluble product. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and add in my essential oils first. This is sitting right around 165 degrees Fahrenheit. So adding in my essential oils, giving that a good stir, and then I'm going to be adding in my CBD isolate. Just want to stir and stir until this completely dissolves. So the amount of CBD isolate that I'm using in this product is enough to make 30 1-ounce salves. I'm going to be using these cute little black containers. Here's the little lid. And each salve will contain 1,000 milligrams of CBD. I'll go into great detail about how to figure out your dosage over on Patreon when I write up my tutorial. That takes a little working out, and again, it's dependent on what strength you want to make, and then the math involved in getting those percentages. So we're almost all the way melted. There's just a little bit of powder down there. Again, this just takes a little bit of stirring. There we go. To get it all melted down. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to this container here. It'll be easier to pour closer up. And I'm going to weigh my salves out on the scale to make sure I'm getting 1 ounce salves. So I'm just going to tear out my scale and pour. There we go. A little bit about selling these. Now, you can sell your salves and your bath bombs online. However, what you need to know is it's important to have insurance to cover your products. You can get insurance to cover your CBD products. You can get CBD insurance through Veracity. I'll put a link also in the description box here for you of where to get that. And because your normal insurance through like the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild, actually they exclude CBD. I just checked with them very recently on this, so I know that there might be some other sources out there that you see that say they do cover it. They actually don't. I just very recently checked with them. So you're gonna have to get it through another source like Veracity. Also, your credit card processors and your web hosts may not support the sale. Just like I said before, there's absolutely no psychoactive component to this product. It doesn't matter for some processors and for some credit card processors and web hosts. It doesn't matter what type of CBD you're using because it's connected to the marijuana plant so closely. Even though it's not marijuana, they do not support it. However, there are some that don't have any restrictions, and right now that would be Squarespace, and also then your credit card processor, Square. Square and Squarespace are two different companies. Squarespace would be your web host, and they don't have any restrictions currently on carrying CBD products. And then your processor, Square, your credit card processor, doesn't currently have any restrictions. So hopefully it will stay that way so that you can sell these products. Some of you might already know if there's other web hosts and credit card processors that don't take issue with it. However, I do know from personal experience that Stripe and PayPal do not support the sale of CBD products. So just know that you can do it, but you do have to, jump through some hoops and also get your insurance. So here they all are setting up, and they're just beautiful. They've got that slight golden hue from the calendula infusion, and they look a little bit translucent, and that's from the cera bellina wax. So if you decide on a different wax, just know that you're going to get more of an opaque looking product. And I just wanted to give you a little show and tell of what the final consistency looks like. So here is my little test batch. This was the final batch before committing to a formula that I really liked. This consistency is awesome. So as you can see, it's shiny and glossy looking, so it's got a very, very good slip, although it's not goopy or too soft. As you can see, you kind of have to dig into it a little bit to pick a little bit up, but it melts nicely on contact with your skin. And that is the final consistency, and it just rubs really nicely into your skin. And again, with a salve, you want it to kind of stick onto your skin and penetrate in for its healing properties. So this is a great muscle rub, joints, aches and pains, bruises. I'm really, really liking the final product here. I hope you do too. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please leave me some comments and questions below. That really means a lot to me. Share this video with a friend, and why not subscribe to my channel? All right, everybody, catch you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.